You bet we are. Now, some people ask me, they say, hey, why are you still running? Can't you count? Listen, I fully understand that my good friend Senator Kerry has the requisite number of delegate votes for the nomination. He's going to be the nominee of our party, and we're going to need to unite to elect him. But the question today is not so much what our friend Senator Kerry wants us to stand for. It is what we want the Democratic Party to stand for. And how we can unite this party and the American people to rally behind Democrats from the White House to the courthouse to bring about a Democratic sweep in November. Now, those of you in the audience who are here who may have backed another candidate who is no longer actually in the race, today you're free to offer your encouragement for a new direction for our party and to pledge your support for someone who has your heart, who speaks your value and your moral commitments. Or you may have come today not committed, and today then you're free to make a commitment to the highest aspirations of our party for social and economic justice. And if a few more of you pledge support for the message of our campaign, that's okay with me. Because, my friends of Maine, we, the Democratic Party, must offer the American people an uplifting vision which will cause them to reject the darkness of lies and fabrications which have been the basis of our national discussion for the last 3-4 years. We must offer the American people hope from the pain of sickness and suffering, from a healthcare system that is totally broken, and put the healing hands of the Democratic Party upon the American people and help heal the people with a universal, single-payer, not-for-profit healthcare system. It's time to end poverty in America, which is brought about by a healthcare system which excludes 43 million Americans from the opportunity for care. You are the ones who can help to heal this nation by bringing forward principles of peace. It is true that it is time for a new direction, not only in this country, but in the world. We must no longer accept the lies and the mythology that says that war is inevitable, because we know that peace is inevitable. If we have the courage to work for it, if we have the commitment to work for it, that peace is inevitable, and we must challenge a White House which has led us into war, which has told us the old lies that war is inevitable, which told the American people the lie that Saddam Hussein had something to do with 9/11, which he did not. We must challenge this administration for lying to the American people to get us into a war against Iraq. Because Saddam Hussein had nothing to do with 9/11, with Al-Qaeda's role in 9/11, with the anthrax attack upon this country. Iraq had neither the intention nor the capability of attacking the United States. They were not trying to get uranium from Niger. They did not have weapons of mass destruction. It was wrong to go in. It is wrong to stay in. It is time to bring our troops home. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. We must be the party that offers a peace plan and an exit strategy. And today I offer that strategy and that peace plan because we must recognize the world community does not want to participate with this administration because they know the reason why this administration went to war against Iraq in a single word. What is that word? That's right. Let them hear it in Washington. What is that word? That's right. And when you look at the pump right now, you look at the price of oil around this country, it is time that we ended the control which oil has on our government. It is time that we ended the control which oil has on our international policies. It is time that we ended the control that oil has on our life, on our environment, on our health. It is time that we develop not only alternative energy, but an alternative government which is dedicated to peace, to social and economic justice. And we must ask the UN to help us. And here's the direction. Number one, the United States must turn over the oil assets to the UN to be held in trust on behalf of the Iraqi people until the Iraqi people are self-governing. No more oil controlled by the United States in Iraq. Number two, the United States must turn over to the UN the contract process in Iraq. No more Halliburton sweetheart deals. No more war profiteering. Give the Iraqi people jobs. Number three, the United States must renounce privatization. We have no right to steal the wealth of the people of Iraq. Number four, we must ask the UN for help in developing a constitution in Iraq and free elections in Iraq. Now, this administration has done everything it can to scorn free and fair elections in Iraq. The head of the Iraqis, 15 million Shiite Muslims, the Grand Ayatollah Sistani, told this administration a half year ago that he would not consent to any kind of plan with the United States that did not involve free and fair elections. What he didn't understand is that this administration doesn't know about free and fair elections. But we are going to change that. We are going to change that. The American people will be lining up to throw this administration out in a free and a fair election. Number five, we must pay to rebuild what the United States destroyed in Iraq. Number six, we must pay reparations to the families of innocent civilian non-combatants who lost their lives. Number seven, we have to help fund a UN peacekeeping mission. And when we do that, we can rotate UN peacekeepers in and we can bring our troops home. It is time for a peace plan. It is time for an exit strategy. It is time for a new direction. It is time for us to reconnect with the world community. It is time for us to take a new direction and to have a new president in the White House. To offer a note of caution to all Democrats. This administration, which lied to get us into Iraq, is eminently capable of switching and turning on a dime and in a moment's notice saying, we won, we're leaving. We must be careful. We must take care to make the issue of this election, the fact that they lied to get us in, the fact that they cost us the lives of nearly 800 of our brave men and women, the fact that they cost us the lives of over 10,000 innocent Iraqis, the fact that they drove up a deficit and are spending over $225 billion for this war, that must be the issue. But let me tell you something, my friends. We must not, as a party, permit our party to fall into a trap and buy George Bush's war. We must get out of Iraq. There should be no staying the course. The course has to be the course of coming home. And our party must do everything it can to refocus our attentions on bringing about peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians. We must do that. When our brothers and sisters are killing each other, it is up to us to intervene in a way that both may survive, not to stand idly by. Well, this is happening. The U.S. has a moral obligation to get involved and help bring about peace in the Middle East. It is time we took that stand. Israel has long been a friend of the United States, but sometimes we must tell our friends when they're not going in the right direction. We must tell our friend Ariel Sharon to take down that wall. To begin a new peace process. And to begin a process that enables us to reconnect with the Israelis and the Palestinian people, and to have the moral authority to do so. We have no moral authority to bring about any kind of a peaceful settlement between the Israelis and the Palestinians when we ourselves are illegally occupying Iraq. I have found no greater disconnect in this country between the aspirations of the American people and what's going on in Washington, D.C. than on the issue of health care. All across this country, people are being driven into debt, being driven into poverty because of a health care system that is controlled by corporations. People in this country cannot afford to be sick. They cannot afford to be well because insurance companies are making money not providing health care. It is time that we challenge that system. It is time that the Democratic Party took a stand for universal, single-payer, not-for-profit health care. It is time we told the American people that we care about their health. It is time that we told the health insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies, step aside. We are here for the American people. We are not here for profit. We are not here for anything but the health care of the American people. Let our country take a stand for health care. When we show up on that issue, the American people will show up. They will line up on election day. They will be waiting when the sun breaks in the morning. They will be lining up to vote Democrat when we offer them a health care plan that covers themselves and their families. It is time. It is time. It is time. And we must take the money that we're pouring into war, to start to repair our educational system, to make sure that every young person in this country has a chance for a quality education from preschool, age 3, all the way through to college, a fully paid public education. And we must not forget our children and their special education needs. This is about what we stand for as a nation. This is about who we are as a nation. And we must be about education as a nation if we are about anything. America's lost 3 million manufacturing jobs since July of the year 2000. There are predictions that we'll lose millions more due to outsourcing. You know and I know this is intolerable. You know and I know that Maine has suffered devastating losses in manufacturing. Maine makes some of the best textiles anywhere in the world, and today those plants are vacant. Today those plants are not being used. I say that it is time we make a commitment as a party to rebuild our basic manufacturing base so that once again we can make steel, automotive, aerospace, textile, and other products that have been a pride of the world. We must make new jobs in this country, and we must stop the WTO and NAFTA from any further action which hurts this country's ability to save our jobs. My friends, my beloved friends of Maine, it's raining outside, but let me tell you, the bright light of democracy and democratic victory is shining over this convention this morning. As the sun first shines its glory in the United States over Maine, let Maine today be the powerful sunrise for the Democratic Party. Let Maine shed the light of peace upon the Democratic Party. Let Maine shed the light of civil liberties upon the Democratic Party. Get rid of that Patriot Act. Let Maine shed the light of universal health care upon our Democratic Party. Let Maine shed the light of fair trade upon our Democratic Party. Let Maine shed the light of hope upon our Democratic Party. Let Maine's light shine like a beacon which guides our Democratic Party home to victory in November. Let Maine shine its Maine's light so that we move our party through the rolling seas of indecision and of indifference. Let Maine's light shine so brilliantly that from this convention comes an illumination which will cause the entire Democratic Party to be electrified with the potential of a brighter tomorrow for